Hello, dear listeners. First off, I wanted to thank everyone for your patience and your support while we were getting episode 3 ready, and I'm sorry it took so long. But we have a little announcement. We are looking for musicians to help in our project by making us little tunes for Pesterlock segments. We're looking for any kind of musicians that will put a spin to Homestuck sounding music by adding their own personality. So, really, we're open to any styles and all skill levels. Your work will be compensated, however, we cannot offer anything near industry standards, so we're really sorry for that. But if you are still interested, I will be putting a link in the description to a Google Doc where you can apply, though we can't actually properly link stuff yet, so you're gonna have to copy and paste. I'm sorry. This Google Doc will have a bit more information and prices that we're willing to offer and kind of explain what exactly we're looking for. I want to thank you guys so much for the interest and support that you've shown for this project. It means a lot to me and my entire team, and it's been really fun making these so far, so thank you guys. Anyway, episode 3. Enjoy.
The kernel divides. The two halves go their separate ways, leaving behind the sprite portion.
Boy!
What is left of the sprite undergoes a mysterious transformation. For a moment, you thought you heard someone say, "boy," as if whispered in the periphery of your awareness. It was probably just your imagination, though.
You there! Boy! You there! Boy!
What?
Boy! Listen to me, boy!
His name is John, you nincompoop.
Boy who is John, do as I say.
What would you like Boy Who Is John to do?
Obey my commands, John boy.
And those commands would be...
I would like the boy to interact with his environment in a constructive manner.
Maybe you should be a little more specific?
Have the boy assess his current situation.
I'm afraid I can't have the boy do that. Tell him to do it yourself.
Very well.
Okay.
That
instruction does not do anything at the moment. Could you please turn the controls over to a more competent user? Increasingly sophomoric. Also, you almost spelled salad in there.
What's that?
It looks different now. After you bit that apple, your whole house seemed to be transported somewhere. Then the apple disappeared and the kernel sprite underwent a transformation. Aside from the change in appearance, the transformation doesn't seem to have any relevant ramifications. You still can't understand a word this idiot says.
The ghost clown. Do something with it.
The ghost clown is called a kernel sprite. Or rather, just the sprite now, I suppose. You can't do something with it at the moment. The only thing you can theoretically do with it is Tier 2 prototype it, assuming that's still possible.
Tier prototype the sprite, or the thing you said. Do it.
You are not the one who is supposed to prototype it. The Spurb server user is supposed to do that.
This large platform. Good grief, what is it, boy?
The alchemitor created the apple, or the tree that sprouted it rather, right on time to save you from destruction. You're not sure if you can say the same for your neighborhood though. You wonder what happened to your dad.
Peek over the railing.
Getting close to the railing makes you a little nervous. It's a long way down.
Examine the strange blue vase.
It's the piece of cruxite you carved with the totem lathe. When its contours were scanned, the alchemitor was able to produce that tree. How odd.
Boy, open this door and walk through it. That man with the humorous spectacles. Admire him.
Oh, Michael Sarah, your warm smile is a shining beacon in these dark times.
I detest this. Disregard it?
The Harlequin painting. You have the sentiment in common with John then, I suppose.
Boy, go in here. Inspect this ghastly man and his boy.
Fred Savage has a punchable face your ass. More like a talented young actor's face who you would want to hang out with if you got the chance, and also if he were not a fully grown man now. Anyway, the thought of monsters lurking in your house scares the shit out of you, which is why this movie is so awesome. But the fact that those monsters could also be your best friend is what makes it doubly awesome.
Is that John Cusack?
Yeah, you guess so. But damn, that door be covering up your man cage something serious. That ain't cool.
This door. Explain this.
Rose sure did a number on your house, but you guess she did manage to save your life. You guess.
Observe this box.
Bunny is not in the box. I said the bunny is not in the box. Why couldn't the bunny be in the box?
Examine this unpleasant fluid.
What is this stuff?
Armed foes of the deceased?
Most people say the second one was not as great as the first, but you feel just the opposite. It was really cool and sort of gross how they hosed each other down with slime that made people angry. TG refers to the film as Nasty Manbro Bukkake Theater, whatever the hell that means.
Marvel at this adventure in outer space.
This movie is... okay, this movie is really bad. Not even you can defend it. You've been meaning to take this poster down, actually.
Acquire this small Persian rug.
It's a towel, dumbass. It will probably come in handy for cleaning up that weird mess in your room. Not that it's a huge priority, though.
Boy, look through this window.
At least your tire swing remains unmolested. A tree without a tire swing is like a house without a surrounding neighborhood, you guess.
This huge sewing machine. Of what use is it?
The punch card seemed to contain the instructions for carving a totem of a certain shape. You guess maybe other punch cards will produce different shapes? It bears further exploration.
This funny man text. You should ignore it.
Just looking at the cover cracks you up. What a great book. Harry Anderson is your hero, and Mike Cavaney's glowing treatment of the man does him every bit of justice. You'll have to give this another read soon.
Investigate this device.
It seems you are still connected to the internet. Rose is trying to get in touch with you. You will reply in a moment once you have fully assessed your situation.
Go out of the door that is not here. What is down here? Proceed, boy. I am not fond of this smug fellow.
The man, the myth, the legend. What do you have up your sleeve there, Anderson? Look at that poker face. He's not telling a soul.
Open this.
Your dad's room is still locked.
Go in there, now. Your plumbing appears faulty.
Man, Rose did such a piss-poor job of fixing the bathroom. It would almost certainly be a mistake to try to use the toilet. You guess you could just go pee over the edge of the cliff.
Leave at once!
No, go back!
No! Keep moving!
Believe me, you have no intention of turning your head to observe this dreadful thing.
Why does this small man stand here?
This Harlequin is always ready to serve you with illumination, whether you're reading a book or just enjoying a nice pipe.
What is the meaning of this rubbish?
Okay, even you have to admit, this one's pretty funny.
A small dessert tray? Useless!
In retrospect, it was pretty funny when your dad pied you like that. Got you again by the old man.
Use this to reseal that opening there.
If only putting the lid back on the Kruckstruder would undo all it's done. Alas, Pandora's tube has been opened.
Move this absurd edifice and exit your house, boy!
This thing weighs a ton. You'd honestly be surprised if the game cursor could lift it, or at least not without a significant expense of grist. Of all the places for Rose to drop the infernal thing, more than ever you feel, what's the word you're looking for? Of course, house-trapped.
Destroy these diminutive soldiers of merriment.
It hardly seems worth it to go to the bother. You doubt you could get much for them at a garage sale even. Maybe a grubby palm of pennies and a kick in the nuts for the whole lot of them.
Wield these instruments of combat.
Any one of these things would make a fine weapon, if only your strife specipus wasn't already allocated. Oh well.
Ah, no!
So coy, so mysterious.
Topple this urn immediately.
That would be disrespectful to your Nana. You just won't do it. Or not intentionally, at least. You consider that it is fortunate she is no longer around to witness this sorrow. On the other hand, you would probably benefit from her elderly wisdom now.
Stow lump of soot for future use, boy.
That stuff is really dirty and you don't want it. Besides, you have it on good authority that a significant portion of it is compromised of asbestos.
Vile. Pay no mind to this filth.
What is he even doing there? Playing with a ball or something? Clowns are stupid.
Here, boy, in here. This is a mess, boy.
You're so glad your dad wasn't watching when you did this. He never would have let you hear the end of it.
Inspect this merry band of performers.
Cirque du Soleil once filed a restraining order against your father. You were never so embarrassed in your life.
Operate this instrument.
You play your favorite haunting refrain.
Is this tobacco burning apparatus?
Yuck. You still have pipe taste in your mouth.
Throw this ugly thing out the window.
You will not do that intentionally. You only resort to throwing stuff out of the window via Siladex mismanagement.
It has a knife. Be alarmed by this.
R.I.P., Ledger.
This man is an imbecile. Ignore him.
He's alright. Looks like he doesn't take himself too seriously and knows how to have a good time. You can only assume your dad hung it crooked to make it look more whimsical.
Look here.
It's dark out there. Can't see anything for miles.
I see treachery in his eyes.
Oh, he doesn't look so bad.
Seek the riches he guards below.
This one offers a friendly wave. But yeah, this is really just another stupid piece of shit.
Open this iron vault, boy.
You don't know the combination.
Disregard this nonsense.
Your dad used this stuff sometimes to dazzle you with his silly vaudevillian escapades. Really, you couldn't roll your eyes hard enough at his corny act.
Read unpleasant literature.
Serious Jester Magazine. For those for whom clowning around is serious business.
Consume nut.
You would, but you're not sure if this dark realm has any hospitals.
Return to the large room with the gross paintings. This way, through the doors, like you see in a cowboy saloon. Plunder chest.
Would you like to play a game?
Sniff vegetable.
Doesn't smell like anything.
This book is too big for a young, stupid boy.
Colonel Sassacre's your favorite book. Almost as favorite as Wise Guy. They are both your favoritist of all time.
Sample powdered uncooked dessert.
Back, ye miserable wench! Stay thy choking airborne particulates of temptation!
Peek in bowl of goo.
Wherever your dad went, he seems to have left in a hurry. For all his absurdities you have to put up with, you sure wish he were here right now.
Examine this artwork.
Your dad was so proud when you drew this. He hung it up immediately and it's stayed there ever since. That was 1 week ago.
This is a telephone, boy. Now use it.
Phone doesn't work.
Examine this smeared substance.
Huh.
Is this oil?
Gross.
You wonder what happened in here. Where's your dad?
Open this door now. Open these and rifle through them for goods.
You don't give a shit about what's in there. Probably nothing you'd be inclined to use now anyway.
This is no time for laundry.
You're right. Thank you for being sensible about it.
Exit, boy. Fiddle with the bright sparkly things.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. John sensibly disregards your awful advice.
Admire this wall-mounted gadget.
Through some mysterious force, your house still seems to be powered, even though the wires are severed. Quite bizarre.
Ponder lawn amusement.
Your childhood nemesis, the spring-mounted pogo ride, sadly was not swallowed by the void. It'll have to wait another day for its comeuppance.
Boy, engage this mangled trapeze display.
Looks like your swing set is toast. You relive fond memories in a moment of sorrow.
Claim the dangling tree bauble.
The trick handcuffs are still there, thank God. And no, you are not about to try to claim them right now.
Back into the house with you. Go back into the luncheon parlor. Return to the room with the dead hag's remains. Boy, quit all this scurrying around.
For the last time, this boy's name is John.
Fine, John, return to your quarters.
You go back up to your bedroom, tiptoeing around this weird petroleum-based sludge.
Now, John, respond to your friend unit.
John, are you there?
Tentacle Therapist, TT, is now an idle chum.
Hey, yeah, I'm here. And not dead, I think.
I know. I've been watching you scramble through the house like a lunatic. You should have answered me sooner.
Oh man, sorry. I was looking around for my dad and I can't find him anywhere. Have you seen him?
No. I'm sure he'll turn up. We have more important things to address right now.
Yeah, like, where am I?
I don't know that either. But I've determined your neighborhood was destroyed by the meteor. Wherever you were transported, it saved you from the impact. I've been reading reports in the news. Over the last few days, there have been many smaller meteor collisions with people's homes around the world. And they seem to be getting bigger. Yours was the biggest they've identified so far.
Wow, okay. So then, I guess if this is all the game's doing, then the point is for us to save the world?
Perhaps?
Then we better get moving and figure this game out!
Yes, but wait. We should retrieve your PDA. Yet again. It will help to keep tabs on each other while you investigate. I think I can get you closer to it if I can replenish our grist supply somewhat. There may be a way to recycle some that we already used.
Okay.
I'll meet you out on the balcony.
Wait, Rose, one thing.
What?
You never even wished me a happy birthday! Hello?
I was working on something to send you, but I was running late with it. I didn't want you to think I believed meager well wishes alone would suffice for the occasion. That said, happy birthday, John.
Oh, geez. That is silly. Anyway, thanks.
First, take the fabric item on the floor there.
The towel? Why? Oh well, you're the boss. You capture logged the towel. What now?
Do as the purple text says. To the balcony!
John makes his way to the balcony per your awkwardly worded request.
Wait, take that! The blue wobbly thing.
You whimsically decide to capture log the totem which was used to create the apple tree earlier.
John, recycle the grist as was dictated by your cohort.
John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the spurred player.
I see.
Yes, that will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of build grist are restored to your grist cache. Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA.
John, run across precarious platform swiftly.
John isn't sure about that. It's a long way down.
Boy, I said make haste on the narrow catwalk.
No.
John is very nervous about the idea, and the strident tone of your commands is starting to make him a little upset.
Fine, proceed as your level of comfort dictates.
You cautiously walk within range of the PDA. Rose retrieves it.
Now take it.
You grab the PDA, launching one of the Harlequin figurines into the night. You can kiss that one goodbye. Just one command will suffice. Thanks. It looks like you're not the only one trying to locate your father after the disaster.
Submitting inquiry of concern over cataclysmic event. Pipefan 413, reply.
At Pipefan 413. Status of health / wardrobe?
Neighbouring houses struck by flaming projectile. In light of fire hazard, evacuating house of all expensive garments.
Fedora Freak. Salvage as many hats as is practical.
Fedora Freak, you are in our thoughts, along with Pipefan 413 in his enviable collection of pipes.
Thank you all. Report. Most hats removed from danger. Ties next.
These boring men are uninteresting.
John, are you okay? You seem a bit tentative.
I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do these weird things I don't really want to do. By some kind of voice that I can't really even hear. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety disorder like post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try. Like prototyping the kernel sprite again if possible. We should hurry. My laptop battery won't last forever.
Okay, I will go back inside.
No, don't do that. Hop off this ledge onto that car.
What? No, that sounds incredibly dangerous.
No. Absolutely
Now you're just being a
not.
pest. Which turnip truck did you just tumble out of anyway? Who are you? Years in the future, but not many. An unsealed tunnel welcomes hot desert air into its stagnant depths.
An examination of the basics. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel, allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and 1 is a punch card. It's quite possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you have activated the machine called the Cruxtruder, such as it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Cruxtruder, aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly, and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose: to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves. But for now, the variety of objects you are able to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the Cruxtruder, again tread lightly with this one, the Totem Lathe, the Alchemiter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all of these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doorways or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of the rooms to make room for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the onset, and one you'd best be advised to save for later. The Cruxtruder. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an Eastern European family reunion. Somewhere a soused uncle is whistling and cheering at decibels warranting an abatement. Muddy livestock is decorated and then lost track of, music shattering your eardrums. The question, "Whose pig is this?" at times can be heard over the clamor. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I'm about to describe. The countdown begins, yes. Also, an entity called the Kernel Sprite is released, but neither of these things are all that relevant to the process to my knowledge. More on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded Cruxtruder's ability to dispense Cruxite dowels. It will dispense at least 1, though I suspect it is capable of producing more given perimeters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The 2 following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest that the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. Shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data. which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there's a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is the totem lathe. The totem lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your crooksite dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemiter. But at this point, I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. The alchemiter. If you place a crooksite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemiter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser. Hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card, and transforming that data into a physical object. Though typically this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can, in your own time, begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally there is no going back, so best to be prepared. But you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly. So your Krugstruda is ticking. Do this to live.
In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Rose, check status of battery. Your laptop battery is alright for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort. The small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. Rose, prototype Sprite with Betty Crocker bottles.
What? Oh man, you're gonna use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea.
We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power.
But the cake mix... that's so dumb.
I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around.
Fine, I guess.
The Sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism.
Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious.
Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours. Rose, prototype Sprite with Sassacre text.
Oh yes, sweet! Now we're talking.
See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it.
John, flail about in a distracting manner.
The Sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky Sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel Sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dowsing.
Inspect Hag Ash Incident.
Huh.
You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found. Rose, remove Cruxtruder from doorway.
Aw, man, where'd it go?
I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client, so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you wherever you are. We should do this quickly before my house burns down.
What? There's a fire?
There will be soon.
Oh, jeez. So move this thing already.
It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either.
How much do you have?
0.
Oh. I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier. That sounds really dangerous.
I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs.
Do again as purple words say.
You were about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle along the lines of a spirited hoo-hoo-hoo.
Ignore this woman's antics.
You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics. But whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again.
Indulge the device, but be curt with it.
Hey bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes.
Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps.
Come on, this is Hellsaville. Just listen.
It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up. But I really was. But now I'm in some weird dimension that Spurbs sent me to or something. And now, on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma.
For real?
Yeah, it's true. But I'll talk to you later about it.
I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this.
Man, see, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is.
No, this'll be dope. Check it.
No, I have to go. Bye.
Wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm getting armed and dangerous. Sending men in space for saving us. See which play is more courageous. Ben or Bruce dudes reach a truth. Put the blow shoots to use and upsuck it. Afflex classifies, sacrifice would have to suffice. Fuck it. Bro, be a stained glass saint. Up on a cross getting hella Christ plagiarist. Bruise like off of that crucifix. Enough of this fucking savior fuss. Restrain his ass, permit claim redux. While the scummy remain dangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off, always a crater is ashtray. Catering to layers of Matt McConaughey's vague remained your dust. Wait. McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something. Being the president. It'll be called Obama Made It So That No One Gives a Shit About Black Presidents in Movies Anymore. See, you've got to fill me in on what's going on. So I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies.
Enough strange poetry from the red text.
You head out to the balcony to find out what Rose has in mind. She is messaging you again.
The purple text is less irrational than the red text.
I'm lifting the car up to the balcony.
Whoa, okay.
Once it is up, retrieve the game. Then I'll put it back down on the driveway.
But the door is locked.
Then break a window.
But it's my dad's car.
It's just a window, and this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves.
All right.
Rose, pick up car. Connection lost.
Ridiculous folly! Inexcusable!
You're inclined to agree, but hey, accidents happen. You double-check your PDA to make sure if Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is now logged in as well.
What color are the words that this chum says?
I'm back.
Oh, hi.
I went to investigate the explosion I heard.
Was it by any chance a meteor?
Yes! How did you know?
Oh, man. It's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything?
No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house and I went to look at it. And it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous.
Well, gosh, he's probably right.
Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet?
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird spooky bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, no.
Wow, okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood.
That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry.
But I'm okay, and my house is, too, sort of. That game I was telling you about, Spurb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute. But now I'm trapped here, and it's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car, and my copy of the game in the pit, and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse!
Well, sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John. Maybe this is your destiny. If anyone could save the world, I think it's probably you.
Wow, you think so?
Yes.
Well, okay, but it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from the meteors and fire and stuff, but she lost battery power, and I lost the game disc. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her. Well, that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff.
He's so silly.
Yeah. Anyway, I should talk to him about it, so... BRB?
The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again.
When the film crew zooms where the president's at, I'm like, if that dude's black, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is, so we're all damn. Director's got gumption. Like we'll all flip our shit, he ain't shining shoes or something. It's called free emancipation. If it's not press election, it's God ascension. And Bruce Almighty. Whoops, different Bruce from the one I just mentioned. Can't explain to me why this ain't condescension to think I'll shit a brick. Not even he can convey the intention with this quick spun wit. Rather deflate all this tension. Sit on his lap while he whittles a splint. And some guy eyes what he does, patronizes, I guess, mediocrity, the mother of invention.
Stop rapping for a second, you horse's ass! I have something important to talk about.
What's up?
Rose is in trouble and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Spurb, but I lost my copy.
Okay.
Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with the game to get her out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her.
My copy? That's going to be tough.
Why?
I lost it. It's a stupid story, and I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo.
I thought you said you had two.
Well, yeah. One is my brother's copy.
Okay, well, get his then.
Alright, but he's not gonna be happy about that.
Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up to speed on this.
Oh, man.
What?
Nothing, really. Look, all I'm saying is the girl tends to lay it on kinda thick, you know?
Rolls eyes.
Your laptop is out of battery power. There's only one thing left to do. Time to make your way to that backup generator. Rose, knit laptop cozy to shield your laptop from the rain. That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you already knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You captcha log the laptop plus cozy. Rose, equip Grimoire to Strife Specibus. That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces you just don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down. Rose, recaptchalogue your items. You grab the knitting bag and the grimoire in that order. It's always a logistical puzzle with your tree modus. The tree auto-balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card. Rose, allocate knitting needles to Strife Specibus. You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with these needles, you feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish. You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Careful with all that stuff. Rose, knit plush Cuddle Cthulhu to soothe nerves. That would also be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you're quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many other specimens of the zoologically dubious you're familiar with, such as Rose, consult the grimoire. Fluthu, foul patrician of misery. To hear his mammoth belly gurgle is to know the epoch of joy has come to an abrupt end. And Rubgilglith, shame beast king of grotesquerie, writhe lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing his melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode. And of course, there's Oglagoth, the Deep One. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for a 9,000 years span. He is the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of a vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of horror terrors, an omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite few, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring. And then there's this strange page containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. You've never been quite sure what these diagrams are getting at. Rose, take items and proceed downstairs. You recaptchalogue everything the way you want it to appear in the tree and head downstairs. You figure that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get a move on. You wonder if this rain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows to assuage fire. Somewhere, a zealous god threads these strings between the clouds and the earth, preparing for a symphony it fears impossible to play. And so it threads, on and on, delaying the rays of the conductor's baton. How you hate this season. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. American sports legend, Charles Barkley. Rose, confront mother in hall. Surely your mother is lurking nearby. You should be prepared for an unpleasant What? There's this really cool dude, okay? He's standing around being all chill, like cool dudes are known to do sometimes. A cool dude like this probably has a real cool name, but he probably wouldn't just tell you what it was if you asked. He'd be way too busy for that, busy being totally sweet. But you could always try to guess his name, and if you were right, he might nod ever so slightly. That's a cool dude's way of letting you know there might just be hope for you yet. Enter name. Insufferable prick. This guy doesn't have time for this sort of bullshit. Try again. Dave Strider. Examine room. Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day. Your bedroom window is open to let some air in, and your fan is cranked. Arguably even more cranked would be your fly beats, which brings us to your variety of interests. A cool dude like you is sure to have plenty. You have a penchant for spinning out unbelievably ill jams with your turntables and mixing gear. You like to rave about bands no one's ever heard of but you. You collect weird dead things preserved in various ways. You are an amateur photographer and operate your own makeshift darkroom. You maintain a number of ironically humorous blogs, websites, and social networking profiles. And if the inspiration strikes, you won't hesitate to drop some fat rhymes on a mofo and represent. What will you do? Dave, quickly retrieve arms from cinder blocks. Nah. Dave, get the damn beta and save your friend's life. This notion strikes you as nonsensical. You can't imagine how a video game could save someone's life, and in any case, you're quite sure no one you know is in any danger. Anyway, these are your copies of the beta you received in the mail recently. You've labeled them with your name in bold red print to distinguish them from your bro's copies, who labeled his in kind. Neither of you really gives a shit about this game or has any intention of playing it, but you'll be damned if you'll let that get in the way of your campaign of one-upmanship. Dave, bleat like a goat and piss on your turntable. You would never consider allowing any fluid even remotely resembling urine to touch your beloved turntables. That would risk breaking them, and a world without the gift of your godly science just doesn't sound like a place you want any part of. While you're at it, you might as well wipe out human civilization with a meteor or something ridiculous like that, which will probably never happen. That sort of thing only happens in stupid idiot movies for stupid idiots. You will, however, contemplate bleeding like a goat for ironically humorous purposes at a later date. Dave, examine closet. This is your closet. This is where you keep a lot of your crap. Like that box and that bottle of... what is that? Is that? Dave, check the blue box. This is the package that your friend John Egbert sent you for your 13th birthday a little while ago. It now contains nothing except a note and a certificate of authenticity vouching for the genuine Hollywood memorabilia which the box originally contained and which you are now wearing to be ironic, incredibly cool in a way somehow intangibly related to the ironic nature of the accessory. You find it sort of exasperating to explain these subtleties to people. The box also included a signed photo of Ben Stiller, which now proudly hangs above your closet. Proudly and ironically. Dave, take box. You capture log the box through your hash map fetch modus. Your modus's current hash function resolves the index by valuing each consonant at 2 and each vowel at 1. The total is divided by your number of cards and the remainder is the index. Box equals 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5. 5 divided by 10 equals 5. The box is capture logged in card 5. Dave, examine jar of unknown yellow substance in the closet. Oh hell yes. It is an unopened container of apple juice. You thought you were all out. It is like fucking Christmas up in here. This is so great. You've got to tell John about this immediately. He'll be so excited. Dave, take juice. You capture log the juice into card 7. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 divided by 10 equals 7. Dave, access Pester Chum and Pester John. In addition to letting your buddy know about this outstanding juice windfall, you figure you'll wish him a happy birthday while you're at it. In your own cool, sort of roundabout way, of course. Good thing you looked at that box he sent you, or you might have forgotten. You also might as well ask him about that beta. The kid's been harping about it for weeks. It would be cool if it came on his birthday. He'd be one happy camper. You then proceed to have a conversation that we have already heard. Dave, go online and view sites indicative of your interests. You open the Hephaestus web browser and direct it to your ironically maintained blog, where you post monthly satirical reviews of Game Bro magazine. Your latest post is a review of the March issue.
Oh man. When this heady volume of unabridged awesome hit my doorstep, it made a sort of thunderclap. Like the kind I'm sure Moses heard when God dropped stone tablets containing a review of a game involving the ambiguous marriage of insane stunts and extreme hunger management solutions for dudes on the go. It's like you see the little bag of chips there? You just grab it and go, bro. And keep thrashing shit up. I am so hella pumped of this. There are some obvious questions, like just how outrageous are these snacks? Will popular beverages play a role, and how critical will they be in your quest to attain absolute sweetness? Will this game land the echovated but elusive 5 hats out of 5 hats?
You've been meaning to write a review for the latest issue too, but you've been sort of dogging it. Something about the game they're reviewing just doesn't strike you as ripe for satirical purposes. In a new tab, you open another one of your sites, a webcomic ironically maintained through a satirical cipher vaguely similar to that of your blog. It's called
Sweet Bro
and Hella Jeff. You have legions of devoted fans, most of whom are totally convinced of your creative persona's sincerity, which is just how you like it. Dave, check the latest page of the Midnight Crew. You figure as long as you're chilling at your computer, you might as well see how the new MSPA story is going. You haven't looked at it in a while.
Midnight Crew. You are members of a sinister gang called the Midnight Crew. Your nefarious plots are serpentine in complexity. Your schemes convoluted. You are planning a heist in your underground hideout. What will you do? Use Occam's razor on plans and schemes. Spade Slick uses Occam's razor to carve a circular hole into the heist plans, freeing it from the knife. You wonder what moron would jam the knife so hard into the table in the first place. Spade Slick. Climb ladder and exit hideout. Implement nefarious plots. You push against the manhole cover, but it seems some unbelievable jackass has parked your getaway van on top of it. A familiar feeling stirs. That feeling is overwhelming, soul-blackening rage. It's the sort of rage that'll make a man feel totally justified in sporting an unnecessarily elaborate assortment of fancy blades.
Dave, skip ahead 100 pages or so. You don't remember where you last left off, so you jump way ahead. You always forget to save your place in the story. It looks like tempers have become short in this pressure cooker already. You speculate that the tipping point may have been an ill-advised motion for a game of 52 pickup. Dave, save your place. Read it later. Even though the adventure began recently, it's already over 3,000 pages long. You just don't have time for this bullshit. You'll catch up later. Besides, it looks like someone's pestering you. You're pretty sure you know who it is. Dave, answer chum.
In some cultures, the persistent refusal of a lady's invitation to play a game with her would be a sign of wanton disrespect. Either that or flagrant homosexuality.
What? Oh no. No, look, I'm busy, okay? I've got a lot of shit on my plate. I am sort of a big deal, okay?
I know. Sometimes I wonder how you are ever allowed to pay for meals in restaurants. It must be hard to keep a low profile when you're always overhearing odd voices whisper, "It's that guy who has a blog."
Seriously, dudes be worshipping me left and right. I can't hardly walk down the street without stepping over torsos of the prostrate.
Navigating the urban landscape, I'm sure, is difficult enough without an obstacle course of differential flesh and skyward asses. Perhaps adapting the art of parkour to your unique environment would help?
Yeah. I mean, damn. Like there's this scruffy little shit at my feet, an orphan or something, I don't know. Face flush on the pavement. I'm like, dude, you listening for a stampede of buffalo or something? He braves a look at me, then gives my shoe a little kiss and scurries the fuck off.
Heavy as the crown.
Yeah. Not kicking Oliver Twist in the fucking face every day is my gift to the world, I guess.
Breathtaking magnanimity.
Among other things. I just give and fucking give.
Indeed, nary a jewel tumbles from your wish box of daily exploits, which I imagine does not sparkle.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're just lobbying for me to play that dumb game.
Baseless accusation!
Look, I am telling you, Egbert is all about that game. He will play it with you and probably be tickled stupid about it.
I know this very well. I cannot hasten his mail's delivery, however.
Yeah. I'll hassle him some more about it. And look, how about this? If you ever find yourself in the position where your life depends on me playing that piece of shit game, then I'll play. Will that make you happy?
More than you know. It perfectly mollifies my grief over the demise of chivalry.
John, what are you doing? Stop doing nothing!
Meanwhile, in the present, in a place where the present may be a concept of dubious merit, John is spacing out. But a vague and forceful thought jolts him to attention. Or maybe it is that bumping sound coming from the other side of the door. What is that? A thick, unpleasant fluid pools from beneath the door.
Troubling. Investigate this.
There is a trail of this fluid in the hall leading to your room. Dave, play some hauntingly sick beats. You've had enough of the computer for a while. You feel like you've been messing around on it all week. It's time to get your jam on. You pull up to your trusty Akai MPC-1000 sampler and prepare to get sick nasty. Dave, take sip of the apple juice, despite what John said. Those beets were so fresh they belong in the produce aisle, is what you're talking about. Soccer moms be thumping that shit for ripeness like melons. Know what I'm saying? After beets that fresh, it would be a crime not to reward yourself with a celebratory swig. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 divided by 10 equals 7. You can't do it. John's got you all twisted up inside now. All you can think about is Mandel's gross monster piss. Damn you, Egbert. You recaptchalogue the juice. Dave, allocate sword to Strife Specibus. Your Strife Specibus is already allocated with the Blatekine Abstratus. There's no need to allocate it. You can wield your sweet ninja sword as a weapon once it is in your Strife deck, but you will have to captchalogue it first before moving it there. Dave, captchalogue sword. The ninja sword. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals 17 divided by 10 equals 7. Occupies the same card as the juice. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7 divided by 10 equals 7. Expelling the juice from your Silodex. It splashes all over your turntables and your copies of the beta. Ah! Dave, get a towel or something. You head out to get a towel from the bathroom across the hall. You glance at one of the many radical puppets in your bros collection and nod in approval. Is there anything not awesome about your bro? No, you think not. You enter the bathroom. There's a damp towel on the floor you can probably use for this crisis. You stop to pay a little respect to one of your boys up there. Hey little man, how's it hanging? Dave, capture log damp towel. You take the damp towel. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 15 divided by 10 equals 5. Expelling the box. 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5 divided by 10 equals 5. Dave, search the bathroom for something slightly less damp. Nah, you just decide to wring this towel out into the toilet to make it less damp. It is now just a towel. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8 divided by 10 equals 8. Dave, take towel. You take the towel and grab the box again while you're at it. Dave, clean up the juice. You clean. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8. Up the juice with the towel and hang the damp beta envelopes on your line to dry off. In the breeze of the fan, the betas jostle near the open window. This arrangement is a little disconcerting. If they fell out, it sure would be a stupid way to lose them. Dave, turn off the fan. The crisis is easily averted. You can't imagine it will ever resurface later in any way, shape, or form. That beta is as good as yours, forever. You should probably go pester Egbert again. You wonder if he found the beta yet. You also might chat about your respective sylodices and fetch modi if the topic happens to come up. You wonder if he is anywhere near as smooth with his sylodex as you are. Probably not. It's probably not even humanly possible. Suddenly, a rambunctious crow flies in the open window and snatches the beta, possibly to make a nest with, or maybe just for the sake of being a brainless feathery asshole. You yell at the bird. Stop! 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 7. You accidentally launch your ninja sword. Everything goes flying out the window, dead bird and all. No one can ever know about this. Dave, look out window. Yeah, you can kiss all that stuff goodbye. You feel sorry for the bird, but at least you never planned on ever using that beta, ever. Anyway, now that that bit of ugliness is behind you, you guess you can look forward to several more hours of messing around in your room. Whoa, wait, what?
I'll leave you my swords and shades. I'll put on my